Hello, welcome to CRE Radio and TV. I'm your host, Howard Klein. Today we're going to be talking about real estate crowdfunding and the proposed changes to the accreditation rules by the SEC. If you'd like to know more about CRE Radio, you can go to our site at creradio.com or on Twitter at CRE Radio. We'll be right back. This video was inspired by an article written by Devin Thorpe in Forbes magazine. Devin, thank you very much. At the end of this video, I'll have a clickable link to Devin's article on Forbes. As I prepare myself to attend the IMN Crowdfunding Conference in Santa Monica on September 8th and 9th, I became interested in a couple of the changes that were occurring just prior to the conference. I'm looking forward to it. If you're interested in attending the conference and getting a 10% discount, later on in the video, there'll be a clickable link which will take you to our website. Remember to use the code CRE and you can get a 10% discount. In July 2014, the SEC began to consider changes to the rules governing accredited investors. These rules have been in place for almost 30 years, with the exception of an exclusion relating to personal residence. Let me step back a second and discuss what these rules are. You have to understand that much of commercial real estate investing in the United States is by private investors, and the rules relating to the solicitation of those investors are governed by the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, and otherwise by law. Now, those rules have been in place for almost 30 years, with the exception of an exclusion relating to personal residence. And those rules include that as a private investor, and to be considered an accredited investor, you have to earn over $200,000 a year as an individual over the last 2 years, with the expectation that you will continue to earn that much, or $300,000 per household for the last 2 years, also with the expectation that you will continue to do that, or that you have a net worth of at least $1 million, not including your primary residence. Now, as indicated, those rules have been in place for almost 30 years. In 2012, Congress enacted the Jobs Act. It allowed developers and owners of real property to solicit people over different avenues or medium. Before, it was very limited on how they could solicit people to invest. And now you can do it over the internet. At this time, the rules do not allow solicitation to unaccredited investors. While the law does allow it, it is subject to rules to be set up by the SEC, and it is not allowed as of the date of creation of this video. But you can go to accredited investors. This has really opened up a whole new cottage industry. I suppose that just the fact that the SEC is considering changes to the accreditation standards have caused a lot of grief and inspiration by a lot of people. As indicated in Devin's article, there were quite a few interviews that they had. There is some question whether or not the financial standards really make sense. For instance, just the mere fact that someone has made $200,000, does that make them knowledgeable in the area of real estate investing or any other investing? As a matter of fact, some people are very concerned that the SEC may even try to limit the accreditation standards so that the pool of available investors may even shrink. For example, maybe they're going to raise the number to $300,000 for an individual and $500,000 for a household income, or maybe $2 million for net worth, excluding the personal residence. On the other hand, there are people who suggest that it should be widened and so that a larger pool will be allowed. There's also been much discussion with regard to crowdfunding of unaccredited investors, which again is still not an issue resolved. In any case, this is going to be an interesting topic of conversation at the IMN Crowdfunding Conference, and I'm looking forward to it.